and get driving in the fast lane here on Beaver County Radio. It's the morning show that talks about what's happening in the news, locally, regionally, and nationally. There's also music to get you started for the day. It's all brought to you by Patriot Home Care. And now, here is the host of the show, Frank Sparks.
And welcome back here on Driving in the Fast Lane. I'm Frank Sparks. And joining us here in the 8 o'clock hour this morning is going to be some representatives from the Verland Foundation. Dr. Mary and Leland is going to talk with us this morning. And we're going to talk about the Verland Foundation and the good they do within our community and helping out as well. So let's get started. Good morning, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Well, appreciate it. So I know we had a couple technical issues last time you guys were on, so we wanted to make good and invite you back, and so everybody could see you and see your smiling faces on Facebook. So how was the holiday season for you guys?
Season was great. Last time we got together with you, we were talking about our light up night,
right?
Which of course they also do in Pittsburgh, but we do it on our main campus. So thanks to the Ohio Township, they brought their fire trucks, their police cars. We have people on staff who have Jeeps, and they decorated those with Christmas lights.
Okay.
And we had Santa Claus there and some elves. Our dietary department prepared, what do they call them, walking tacos.
Oh, okay.
We had hot chocolate, and they drove around our campus, and it was a great night. Family came out and supported our work, and it was just a good night. So
That's awesome.
I figured
Sounds
we
like
could
fun.
talk about Christmas since my wife still has the Christmas tree up. So.
Well, we still got them up here, too. Well, just remember, this week was Serbian Christmas, so... Or last week. Was it last week? Last week? Yeah, so see, we're still there, I mean, I don't know. We just got to get around to taking them down.
One more event we had,
Sure.
I do want to give a thanks to
Sure.
the Northway Community Christian Church, because we were their Giving Tree project this year at their Sewickley campus. So they prepared gifts that our individuals requested for 86 individuals, and they also provided gift cards for just dozens and dozens of our staff on main campus. And they came, they sang carols, they delivered the gifts, and we really appreciated that. Our staff, I heard nothing but good things from them about how much they appreciated the work that Northway did. So,
well, Leland, tell us a little bit about the Verland Foundation to start out with, for maybe listeners that weren't listening the last time you guys were on.
Okay, sure. We've been in existence about 47 years. We were started by Carol Mitchell, and there were 3 other women that were really involved in that. Depending on who you talk to, it's 3 or 4 women, but there were women that had a vision for providing better care for people with disabilities. Back then, many of us know the history in the institutions. People did not receive great care. Sometimes there were ratios of 1 staff to 30 clients, and it wasn't good at all. So they recognized this, and they worked together, and they prayed, and they started Verland right there in Sewickley. And so it's 47 years ago. And since then, we've grown from just one individual that they cared for all the way to about 239 people that we take care of 24/7.
I was amazed when you guys were here last time that, when I asked you, that Carol Mitchell was still around, because, back in the day when I worked there, I was just, we never really saw her, but, she did such good. I thought she was older than, I guess, than what I thought. So, but that's awesome that she's still around and still doing everything with it. So, Dr. Mary, tell us a little bit about, what do you specifically do at the Verland Foundation?
So I'm coming up very soon on my 1-year anniversary at Verland, and I'm blessed to be at Verland. I oversee most of our operations at Verland, whether it be facilities, technology, infrastructure, dietary, all the kind of back office operations that make the magic happen at Verland. I'm also very, very, very involved in a project that we're working on up in Venango County right now, where there are a complement of individuals still at Polk State Hospital, and we've partnered with the state to bring those individuals, some of them who've lived in Polk for decades, into their forever homes in the community. So that's a big focus right now. We're very excited about bringing the last 17 individuals out into our communities.
Okay. I remember last time you were here, that was just in the beginning processes of that happening as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, we need Dr. Mary. You mentioned Carol Mitchell. She has passion like you can't believe, for the care of our individuals. And we've had a lot of passion. I know Dr. Mary has it, the rest of the senior leadership team. But what we have to have, and that's what Dr. Mary brings, is she's able to realize that it's one thing to talk about providing the best care in the world, but it's another thing to put a plan together and actually follow that plan to improve in very measurable ways the quality of care that we provide. And so this year, one of our initiatives is process, and that's what Dr. Mary's doing. She was being pretty modest. I think she has her hands in pretty much everything in the organization because we need process, not just when it comes to the support services, but also our quality of care as well, involving our nurses, our direct care people. And Mary's the one that's helping us and has been for almost a year now, and will continue moving forward to make sure that it's not just a passion, but it is actually a reality when it comes to quality care.
So Leland, tell us about what brought you to the Verland Foundation. I know it's kind of like a unique, different story.
It really is. It's. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I had been serving a smaller organization out in the Philadelphia area, doing the same thing, caring for people with intellectual disabilities. And then I was offered a position in Wisconsin, of all places. Now, this morning feels very familiar after living in Wisconsin, snowy, icy,
right,
cold. And I sometimes you ask somebody, where do you think you'll end up in 5 years? Wisconsin, the last place in the world I would have ever said, that I'd end up. But there I was. And it was a very short stint. And looking back on it now, I realized that, God or the powers of the universe, it's just like air traffic controller. That was just a short stop for me to get me to Verland, because the short story is on my last day at the place in Wisconsin, my wife, being a woman who wants security, she said, hey, I found a job for you on Indeed in Pittsburgh. And so she told me about it. I looked at it, and there literally was a 6-day window for me to apply. And I was going to take my time. I had a nice few months I was going to be paid. If she hadn't looked at that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to Frank,
Yeah, right.
But she looked at it. I think this sounds like you. And I waited a couple of days, and I looked at it, and I said, this sounds like me. And they told me that they had 500 applicants. And so going through that whole process, it really was miraculous. It took them about 3.5 months, but finally they decided they wanted Leland Sapp at Verland. And
so what position did you hold when you first started at Verland?
CEO.
CEO, okay, so you came right in as a CEO?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the gentleman prior to me was leaving, and they wanted to find somebody to come in and help work on some things.
That's pretty cool.
And we've done that, and I can say very proudly, the senior team, all the people at Verland, we've really positioned ourselves well when it comes to cash flow, when it comes to really building our culture. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about the people. And I'm excited because we could tell you stories.
Right.
We just hired a development manager. And when I asked her in the interview, I said, why did you choose Verland? And she said, well, I was at a meeting with fundraisers, and they were talking about this place, Verland. And they were talking about culture and the great work that the senior team is doing in creating a positive culture. And she said, you just don't hear that kind of conversation. So the fact that she was out in the community hearing about Verland, positive things, pointed her in our direction. So that's encouraging.
So as the listeners can hear, there's a great relationship and a great place to work. So, Dr. Mary, tell us a little bit. I know Verland's always looking for great people to be a part of their team.
Correct. Yes, we absolutely are. And Verland has a footprint. Our main campus is in Sewickley, as we've said, but we have a footprint that extends from Fayette County, Uniontown, clear into Beaver. We have homes here in Beaver, several homes here in Beaver. Actually, we're getting ready to open a new home in Beaver in a couple of months here. And we also have homes in Mercer County and Venango County, as well as the east end of Pittsburgh. So we're all around the area. We always are looking for individuals that have the passion to work with others. The folks that we work with on a daily basis are very, very special individuals, and we have very, very special staff that work with them. So having a passion to work with individuals really is a key component of coming to join the Verland team. So we have direct support professionals who are individuals who work and care for our folks on a daily basis on the front line. We also have, especially at our Sewickley campus, nursing opportunities, licensed professional nurses, registered nurses in our charge nurse positions are available. And then we have supervisory positions also throughout our footprint. We have some facility maintenance positions open currently. So
What about therapy?
we do have a habilitation program on our Sewickley campus. And currently I do not know that we have any open positions, but we do hire physical therapists, occupational therapists at times, as well as some other specialty areas in therapy.
All right. I know one of the big things always was the equestrian program. Do you guys still have that?
We do have the equestrian program. Actually, we just hired somebody in our equestrian program. Yes, but we do have our equestrian program on our Sewickley campus. We also have an aquatics program. So we have a full-size pool that our individuals are able to do aquatherapy as well in our Sewickley location.
All right. What about dietary, those types of things?
Dietary, thank you very much. Good point. Yes, we do actually have a couple of our dietary positions open on our Sewickley campus. So we do have a large dietary operation to provide nourishment to our 86 individuals on our Sewickley campus. So yes, dietary does different shifts throughout the day. There's some flexibility there. Obviously, weekends, those things.
So tell us a little bit about the individuals that live at the Verland Foundation or on different Verland campuses.
Yeah, so to tie in a little bit about what
Go ahead.
Dr. Mary said, on our main campus, people there have, more serious medical needs. And that's why it's so important, the dietary, they don't just pass out, food. They actually make sure that each individual is getting the food that they're allowed to have. And also that's the right consistency. So sometimes it has to be pureed, almost like an applesauce. Sometimes it has to be chopped. And our dietary program does all of that so that our individuals get the kind of food that they can eat and be safe, without out choking and so on.
Right.
We do have individuals in our community. Most people think of them as kind of like group homes, but people there can be a little higher functioning, maybe a little more ambulatory. They can get up and walk around and do a few things for themselves. So we meet a wide variety of needs. They put it on needs levels of 1 through 5 is how they're broken down, and Dr. Mary can tell you a little bit more about that. But it's a wide range of people, 1 being they're higher functioning, more independent, and 5 being the highest need level. They need a lot of care. I think we serve people
across that gamut for sure. So the way that the Office of Developmental Programs at the state looks at it, there's both healthcare levels and need levels. So we have individuals that have, as Leland said, more significant medical healthcare needs. Some of our folks, have G tubes, feeding tubes, they have other needs. But there also then is the needs group level, just in terms of their disability level and their ability to do daily living skills, functioning, and those kind of things. A lot of our individuals are nonverbal, and also a lot of our individuals may be non-ambulatory. I actually had the opportunity, was blessed to meet with several of our parents and loved ones of our individuals last evening. And one of the things that we were talking about was continuing to work with our staff to determine to develop those skills to work with individuals who are nonverbal, because they're a special population. They really, really are. They communicate. They just don't maybe communicate in the way we're communicating right now. So we at Verland have really engaged our parents to come to the table and partner with us so we can do a better job and serve our individuals more exceptionally. That really is what we do at Verland, and we're looking to do that more and more, to serve more people better and in an exceptional way. And I really do agree with Leland. The team that we have at Verland right now is very special and moving us in that direction.
We're visiting this morning with Leland and Dr. Mary from the Verland Foundation. Noah Haswell will be coming in here in a moment to do news headlines, and we'll have more with them coming up shortly, right after these messages here on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun Thanks, Art. Beaver Cemetery and Mausoleum, serving all of Beaver County since 1865.
Beaver County Radio, your hometown radio station. You're listening live from the Fry Transportation Studios. Beaver County Radio and Fry Transportation, proud to call Beaver County home. Tune in to Beaver County Radio 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP every Monday and Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. for Thinking Logically with Joe Corsai. It is an all-new show that takes a look at the conservative side of politics. Thinking Logically is also presented on the WBVP-WNBA Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's Thinking Logically with Joe Corsai each and every Monday and Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on Beaver County Radio.
Weekday mornings were meant to drive in the fast lane. It's Frank Sparks on Beaver County Radio.
How about if I turn the button on? It's coming up on 8:30. And here's Noah Haswell. I'll remember to turn your button on, though, I promise. Here's Noah with headline news.
All right, thank you. The button is on. Coming up at 9:05 on News Headlines, 7 suspects are now facing charges and are all in jail after assisting homicide suspect Eric Craftsman Jr., who is accused of murdering Darrell Love Jr. in Beaver Falls. Danielle Smith has a report on more than 140 nonprofits urging President Joe Biden to act on the Equal Rights Amendment before he leaves the presidential office. Senator Elder Vogel Jr. has been reappointed to 5 Senate committees. A man from Glassport pleaded guilty for possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. The Whip Bill announces their Hall of Fame class of 2025 with 15 inductees, including a former Beaver County athlete and coach. The TSA entered 6,600 firearms at airports last year. And State Representative Rob Matzey and 2 other Pennsylvania state representatives introduced legislation Tuesday to prohibit entities from fees of customers who want a financial statement that is printed. For the weather forecast, there is a winter weather advisory from now until 4 a.m. tomorrow. It will be a high near 30 today. Tonight will be cloudy skies with a low of around 24. Tomorrow will be cloudy skies with a high near 33. On Saturday, it'll be a high near 40, and on Sunday, there'll be a chance of snow. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy skies with a high near 23. On this Thursday, January 16th of 2025 at 31 minutes after 8, we've got a temperature of 20 degrees currently in Beaver County. It's time for a snow watch on this Thursday, January 16th of 2025. Here are the schools that are closed this morning with a flexible instruction day. Elwood City Area School District, Lincoln Park Performing Arts Charter School, North Catholic High School, and Riverside Beaver School District in Elwood City. Head Start Riverside is also closed this morning. Here are the schools that have a 2-hour delay this morning. Seneca Valley School District, the delay is being held with a modified kindergarten. St. Killian Parish School in Cranberry, St. Stephen's Lutheran Academy in Zelienople, and Stowe Rock School District. Snow Watch is sponsored by Monroe Auto Body, the Lisa Latham team at eXp Realty, the cornerstone of Beaver County and Beaver County Radio. That's a look at news headlines. More at 9:05. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
It's time for sports here on Beaver County Radio. The Pittsburgh Penguins could be moving on from two-time All-Star goaltender Tristan Jarry. The club placed him on waivers yesterday with the plan to send him to the minors should no one claim him. The 29-year-old Jarry is 8-7-4 with a 3.32 goals against average and an .886 save percentage this season for the Penguins. In his absence, we will have Joel Bloomquist, who will be called up from Wilkes-Barre Scranton to replace Jarry, and he'll share the duties along with current goaltender Alex Nedeljkovic during the road trip that is coming up. Texas junior quarterback Quinn Ewers declared for the NFL draft on Wednesday, ending a Longhorns career, which led the program to a Big 12 championship and twice in the college football playoff. Frankie Fiddler had a season-high 18 points. Jaden Akins scored 16 more, leading number 12 Michigan State to a 90-85 victory over Penn State. Jamar Watkins scored 26 points. Malik Ewan had 10 points and 10 of his 18 points in the first 4 minutes of the second half, including 8 in a 10-0 run that propelled Florida State to an 82-70 win over the Pitt Panthers last night. Maximus Edwards scored 22 points off the bench to lead the Duquesne Dukes past George Washington 73-65 last night. Duke's now 8-9 on the season, while the Revolutionaries moved to 13-4. Lauren Betts had 22 points, 12 rebounds. Number 1 UCLA held off Penn State Nittany Lion ladies 83-67 last night. Women's basketball teams will finally be paid for playing games in the NCAA tournament each March, just like the men have for years, under a plan approved Wednesday at the NCAA convention. The unanimous vote by the NCAA membership, which was met by a round of applause, was the final step toward a pay structure for women playing in March Madness after the Division I Board of Governors voted unanimously for the proposal back in late August. Urban Meyer will join Nick Saban in 2025 from the College Football Hall of Fame class, along with Michael Vick and Michael Strahan. They're among the 18 players and 4 coaches that were announced that will be inducted. Former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Deontay Johnson is going back to the black and purple, according to report. The Baltimore Ravens reclaimed Johnson after he was waived after just 2 games with the Texans. ESPN insider Adam Schefter said that it's a procedural move and Johnson won't officially be awarded to the Ravens until after the Super Bowl. The road to the NFL's Final Four features 7 of 8 division winners. Patrick Mahomes and 2-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will open up this weekend, the divisional round, and they'll play against C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, and that'll be Saturday afternoon. Then rookie sensation Jaden Daniels will lead the Washington Commanders against the number 1 seed Detroit Lions in a primetime matchup Saturday night. Daniels helped the Commanders upset Tampa Bay in a wild card game last weekend. Then on Sunday, Saquon Barkley and the Eagles will host the Rams. And then on the nightcap on Sunday, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens will go up against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Taking a look at high school basketball scores from last night very quickly. It was Beaver County Christian over Riverside 63-50. Hopewell over Freedom 66-34. And South Fayette over Lincoln Park, 59-40. Union at Riverside was postponed. In action tonight in boys in Section 1 of Class 3A, Mohawk will be at Aliquippa. Summit Academy will be at Avella in Section 1 of Class 1. In non-conference action, Blackhawk will travel to New Brighton. Taking a look at the girls' side real quick. In scores from last night, it was Lincoln Park losing to Central Valley 62-21. The Lady Panthers of Riverside beat Mohawk 52-43. Elwood City and Aliquippa was postponed last night. Northgate beat New Brighton 37-14 in non-conference action last night. Taking a look at tonight's schedule. And let's see here. Let's get us started. West A will take on Shore Valley. Mars will be at South Fayette. Montour will be at Newcastle. Derry area will be at Freeport. Knock at Valley. North Catholic at Oakland Catholic. Ambridge will visit Hampton. Beaver will travel to Blackhawk. Hopewell will be at Lincoln Park, and we'll keep you updated if that game will happen or not, as Lincoln Park did not have school today. New Brighton will be at Stowe Rocks. Olsh will be at Elwood City. Quaker Valley will be at Beaver Falls. And also looking is Swickley Academy will be at Eden Christian. And St. Joe's will be at Western Beaver. And looking at non-conference action for tonight, Central Valley will travel to Neshannock. Fort Cherry will be at Rochester. Moon will be at Pine Richland. Propel Montour will be at Beaver County Christian. Shenango at Southside. And Winchester Thurston will be at Freedom. That is a look at sports. It is 8:38 here in Beaver County. And thank you for tuning in to Driving in the Fast Lane. I'm Frank Sparks. And I'm joined this morning from members of the Verland Foundation, Leland and Dr. Mary. Leland is the CEO of the Verland Foundation. We were talking before the break about employment and some of the employment positions that are available at the Verland Foundation. So what type of person are you looking for? Male, female, older, younger,
I believe that we're looking for individuals with a passion and a heart to work with the individuals we work with. We do have residents that are male only. We do have residents that are female only. And we also have residents that are co-ed. And we do have some practices at Verland to ensure that we're maintaining a good balance with individuals. So we do have some homes that are females that we ensure at all times there are female staff on, and males the same way. So we do look at that. We truly do have some needs here in Beaver County at some of our Beaver County homes. So individuals who are looking to find a forever home and have a passion working for individuals in Beaver, there truly is a need in Beaver County for us to hire, especially direct support professionals and some of our other positions that are more supervisory positions, program specialists, house managers, those kind of positions we also have available here.
Well, obviously a full-time. Do you have some part-time positions available as well?
We do have some part-time positions as well, and we obviously have some flexibility. So we are 24/7 in most of our homes and our staffing. So, folks who are night owls or folks who need weekend work, looking to pick up some extra hours, those kind of things, we do have those opportunities available as well. And I've worked for many organizations, and I can say that the benefits of working at Verland are not only the culture, as Leland has talked, but we have great benefit package. So adequate time off, good medical benefits, vision, dental, those kind of things. Recently, Leland, I think, took advantage of our vision program, and he came back to the office and came back to our senior team and said, "Wow, we have some pretty good benefits here." So I think we have those things that you need to support yourself, your family, and those kind of things. I think that we have that. We wrap around our staff at Verland with that as well.
Okay. What about financially? I know a lot of people, wages is one of their big things that they're after.
The cost of living today is challenging in the world, but we really aim at Verland, and I think we do it well across our positions in our organization to be the upper quartile of employment rates within our industry, and I think we do well with that. I think we pay well at Verland.
So we're getting ready to give raises to our people in our CLA homes and on main campus again as well. So we're proud of what we do provide for our employees.
So highlight for us once again a little bit, Leland, what it's like to work for the Verland Foundation and why you work there and why you feel it would be a great place for anybody else to work.
Sure. Well, I'll start with me. There's something about I certainly don't understand the universe. I know a lot of us claim to, but there are people in this world that have needs. You and I, right, we get up each morning, we get to dress ourselves, we get to feed ourselves. But there are people who can't do that. And there's something about being close to people like that changes you and makes you a better person. I had the privilege of growing up next to a young man with an intellectual disability. And as a young man, I know that shaped my heart. It made me more compassionate. It made me more giving. And I work there. It's kind of interesting. I kind of fell into it, when I went into direct care, and it turned into a career. But I do it because these people need us. And if we're not willing to bathe them, cook for them, care for them, drive them to doctor's appointments, then there's nobody to care for them. So they need it, but they make us better. So that's why I do it. And I would encourage anyone, even if you're only going to do it, we'll take a year right from you, or 2 years. If you really want to get your heart right, serve somebody. And I went into this field thinking I was only going to do it for a year or two.
Right.
And then I got hooked, and now I've been doing it since 2008, and I'll retire doing this. So that's why I do it. But we are looking for people, as Dr. Mary said, who are passionate, who want to grow their heart a little bit, but also people who are humble, people who have a strong work ethic, and people who get along well with others. That's what we're looking for.
Well, a lot of times you'll see people in public, with somebody with intellectual disabilities will be out in public or something. People will give them, they'll give you that look, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, and I agree with you, being that I worked there in the past, these people are humans just like we are, and if you give them a chance, you'll actually develop a relationship with them. And I know I had my favorite residents that and you can become friends with people, whether they're ambulatory, non-ambulatory, verbal, non-verbal. They still will communicate with you, like you were talking about. Absolutely. And you can develop one heck of a relationship with them. And like you said, it makes your heart, you feel good at the end of the day when you go home knowing you helped somebody out.
Our individuals truly have pure souls.
Right.
They really, really do. And what they give us each day is more than we can give them almost at times. I truly believe that.
Right. Well, I mean, they're put in a position they didn't choose that position.
Correct.
We're a fortunate position we got in life. So, I encourage anybody. I think it's really cool, and it's somewhere nice to work, and being someone that worked there in the past. So tell us a little bit more. You've got the main campus in Sewickley. You've got some homes here in Beaver County, and obviously, that's what you're looking for mainly in Beaver County, would be some people to work. Do you need maybe somebody to drive, clients to appointments, things like that type of stuff? I mean, I know you have vans and stuff.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. All of our homes have whatever they need: cars, vans, mobility vans, those kind of things. Direct support professionals really do it all. They are a jack of all trades, for lack of a better word. So they're able to come in and work with our individuals on their daily living skills. So bathing, cooking, cleaning, transporting them to appointments, ensuring they have the medical care they need, making sure they have their medications. Our direct support professionals, administer medications, ensure the individuals have their needs met. So they truly are. They wrap around the individual.
Okay. And then relationships as well. You can have some great relationships with fellow employees as well. I know to this day I still actually talk to people and, from that I worked with at the Verland Foundation. We're still friends to this day. So you develop those relationships as well.
As I said earlier, I met with a group of our parents last evening, and one of the conversations that we were talking about was being able to find more individuals in our communities who want to come and volunteer at Verland. For example, if there's a librarian who's looking to give back, coming to read to our individuals, or a musician who wants to come and do music with our individuals, those kind of things. I haven't even talked to my boss about this yet, but I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea because I think we all have a desire to help others. It's part of being human. Right. But I think that's an area we probably can explore at Verland to provide an extra layer of support to our individuals as well. So if you have a passion, you don't want to come work for us, but you want to help out, reach out to us.
Right. Get more of them out into the community, but when you have a home of 8 individuals and they're all in wheelchairs, you can understand that challenge. So there's two parts of it. There's we need to figure out how to get more volunteers to come to our main campus to blend, to serve on a volunteer basis, but then we also need to get more and more people out into the community with our individuals, because just like you said, I think early when we get into this field, it's a little awkward. We feel maybe a little afraid or timid. But the more that you're around people with disabilities, the more that you realize they're people and they have different kinds of gifts. And so that is a big initiative of ours as well, getting our people to their church or their synagogue of choice and getting them out, helping with the shopping when they can, so that more and more people see people, right, in a wheelchair or struggling, to walk, and then it makes it normal. It doesn't feel so
I walk
odd.
up behind somebody that's doing like this, staring at somebody at a store or something. Like I won't walk up and just smack them in the back of the head and say, "Put your heads back, your eyes back in your head." They're no different than you are.
Right.
So
And if we can make it more familiar, then fewer and fewer people will be giving those odd looks, right?
Right.
Because they've seen them before. So
Absolutely.
That's our hope. Yeah.
If you do have any questions for either Leland or Dr. Mary, you are welcome to call in at 724-843-1888. And we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Do you like sports? Then tune in every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Brian is loaded with statistics and interesting sports viewpoints. The show can also be seen on the WBVP-WNBA Facebook page. Plus, Brian will be taking your calls as well. That's One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Beaver County Radio.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WNBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WNBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WNBA.
Do you have a lot on your mind? So does Eddie Crow. Tune in to Beaver County Radio every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon for Something to Crow About with Eddie Crow. Eddie has a very unique outlook on things happening in our world today, and he will share that outlook with listeners. We'll also have monthly guests, as well as ones that are making the news locally, regionally, and nationally. So set your clock to tune in to Something to Crow About with Eddie Crow. Weekdays on 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WNBA can get you results. Get more information at BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
A winter weather advisory is in effect until 4 a.m. tomorrow, as we are going to see snow through a good portion of the day. Areas can expect about 1 to 3 inches of accumulation by mid-afternoon. It's going to be breezy as well, with wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. We'll see a high near 28. Cloudy with a chance of snow tonight, will drop down to a low around 24. Cloudy tomorrow, then gradually becoming sunny. Look for a high of 33 and an overnight low around 26. And a rain and snow mix to start the day on Saturday, followed by a chance of snow. We'll reach a high of 39 and a low of 19. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
Looking for a quick and easy lunch or dinner idea? Stop by your local McDonald's now and pick up a $5 meal deal. You'll get a McDouble or a McChicken, 4-piece nuggets, small fries, and small soft drink, all for only $5. You'll love it and your family will too. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
We're back here on Driving in the Fast Lane on Beaver County Radio. I'm Frank Sparks, visiting this morning with Leland and Dr. Mary from the Verland Foundation. So there, you had a couple other things you wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to give you the floor and let you guys roll with it. How's that sound?
Sure. Thanks, Frank. There are a lot of great providers out there, and I think the best ones focus on holistic care, and that's the heart of Verland. Obviously, it's easy to imagine how we care for people physically, but we are also trying to get better and better at feeding their mind, helping them achieve their full capacity mentally, but then also spiritually, how to nurture their soul. So we've gone all in the last year on our chaplaincy program, and it really is making a difference. We're making connections with churches that are providing volunteers. People are going into our homes, praying for our people, and it's exciting to see that our people are being taken care of, not just physically, but also spiritually as well. So that's the goal. We'll take care of the whole person.
Right. So as you're talking about, church services and religion, how do you introduce and continue to introduce the clients to God and continue to have church services, things like that? Do you have that type of stuff for them?
Well, we're trying a lot of different avenues. One is like if, with someone we do have little types of chapel service. At the time, we actually have a little chapel where it can be more individualized, where somebody can pray with an individual. It's sort of mystical, and like, what is God doing, when a person who can't verbalize is praying? So we do that. We also have our own monthly, we call it Joyful Noise, where thanks to Christ Church at Grove Farms, they let us come and have a service there for individuals. And then the next step, what we're trying to do more and more of, is connect our people to local communities of faith. And we're working right now with Northway of Sewickley, Northway Community Christian Church of Sewickley, to sort of, get a few of our individuals there first, to acclimate the people to them, keep an eye on it. Obviously, they can't be too disruptive, or otherwise it sort of ruins things for 500 people. But, where they can slowly go and slowly integrate into the community of faith. So that's what we're trying to do, some of the things, yeah.
So we've talked about us needing individuals with passion and a heart to come work for us. I also want to put out there that our group homes in the community throughout Western Pennsylvania, as Leland said earlier, our individuals are at different functioning levels. Some of those individuals have an ability to give back to the community, just like folks give back to individuals when they come to work with our individuals. It's called Community Integrated Employment, and it's something that our staff are working with our individuals in our community homes to begin to become more engaged in meaningful activities in the employment sector. So if there are folks out there listening who have opportunities as well that could give back to our individuals, engage them in employment, that would be something else that they can reach out to myself or anybody at Verland, and we can connect them with those opportunities as well. One of the other things that I wanted to share that's kind of on the horizon strategically for Verland is we have become licensed to do 2 new services for individuals. One of those is supportive living, where if an individual has an intellectual disability and they can live on their own, but they need supports, we have a lot of expertise in working with that population. So we do now have the ability to work with them to set them up in their own residence and provide support and wrap around them. The other thing that we're excited about, I really do think in the next 5 years, it's something that Verland will shine at, is called life sharing, where an individual family or an individual wants to open their home up to an individual with developmental delays and is willing to have them in their home and, again, allow Verland to come and wrap services around them. Takes a very special individual, but if you have that mission, again, reach out to us and we can look to partner and pair you up with somebody who may very well either be a good match for you, or you have an individual that you believe you want to partner with in that way. So those are things that are on the horizon that we're just beginning to get our feet wet with at Verland.
Well, one thing we didn't mention is if they want to apply for a position, how they go about that.
Go on to verland.org, and there's links on there that will take you directly to that opportunity, or they can just give us a call and we will connect you in the way to get you to the right place.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. As always, appreciate talking to you. It's been, enjoyable to spend an hour with you and talk about the things that are going on at the Verland Foundation. Anything coming up you got planned for springtime, church, Easter time, that type of stuff?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
I'm a Steagle, so I root for Pittsburgh first. But hey, they're out of it, so you got to go with the Eagles. But in all seriousness, this coming year is the year. That's why I said earlier, we have Dr. Mary. We're going to be focusing on quality, but it's so important that we move from passion to actually process. And so we're working on that, creating a healthy culture of accountability so that we provide the best care possible. So we are closing out the Verland North project, which is really exciting. I will say come the end of March, we will have all of the people finally moved out of the Polk Center and into one of our community homes. So that's really exciting. That was a big project, a heavy lift. Thanks to the senior leadership team, we're getting it done. And hopefully maybe we'll be a part of getting folks out of a few other state hospitals in the coming years.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us, Frank.
I appreciate you guys coming in again.
Thanks, Frank.
And we got it right this time, so.
Excellent.
All right, take care and be careful on the way back, because we're understanding the roads are starting to get a little, I'll use some Pittsburghese, a little slippy out there. All right.
Thanks,
Eddie Kerr's coming up next. He will have something to shout, something to crow about, and it is Thursday, so that's the best of Beaver County. Brown Bread, it's a new place in New Brighton, will be Mike's guest today, so tune in for that as well. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. One of the greatest honors a person can receive is to be gathered with their people at the time of their passing. Even biblical authors, when they wanted to explain what it meant to have lived a great, prosperous, and meaningful life, spoke of the individual as having lived a long time and being gathered with friends and relatives near as they closed